We're back for another video on the channel now today. Today we are going to be talking about the interesting title race that is happening at the top of the National League table between Wrexham FC and Notts County. Before we get any further in today's video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Make sure to hit the bell notification so you get updates on when I upload. We've got a busy schedule coming up in February. 8 vlogs in 1 month. It is going to be crazy, and thank you to you guys who have donated using the super thanks button down below. You have funded our trip away to Aldershot Town on the 18th of February, so thank you so much for that. Your support honestly means a lot, and thank you to everyone who just watches the videos in general. It massively helps out. And yeah, let's go for 250 likes on today's video, and let's get chatting everything about Wrexham and Notts County. So for the first time in a while, we can actually now say that Wrexham FC and Notts County have played the same amount of league games in the National League season. Both teams are now level on 27 games. Now this will give us a good indication on the level that these two teams are at. Today we are going to be analysing both teams' games remaining in the National League season, and we're going to be talking about how both teams could possibly break a record by both hitting 100 points this season. We're going to be talking about the team that are top of the league, Wrexham FC first, the team that we all love, and we're going to be talking firstly about our games that we have played against the top 7 currently in the National League. So we have played Notts County away, which we lost 1-0, Chesterfield away, which we lost 2-0, Woking away, which we won 3-2, Barnet at home, which we won 7-5, what a crazy game that was, Bromley at home, which we won 2-1, and Dagenham and Redbridge, which we played at home and won 4-1. So we picked up 12 points out of a possible 18, only dropping 6 points in that period of games which we have played in the top 7. We won 4 out of our 6 games, we lost 2 out of our 6 games as well. We scored 16 goals and then conceded 12 goals. Whereas moving on to second place, Notts County, they have obviously beaten Wrexham 1-0 at home, drew to Chesterfield, beat Woking away 3-2. Barnet, they haven't played so far, home and away, so they've got those 2 games to come up. Bromley, they drew 1-1, and Dagenham and Redbridge, they beat them 5-0 away. So Notts County did pick up 11 points out of a possible 15, only dropping 4. They won 3 out of their 5 games and lost 0, scored 12 goals and only conceded 5. Now this comparison obviously doesn't decide who will go on to win the league title, but for me this is interesting to look at because we can obviously see that Wrexham are way more ruthless in front of goal, but on the other hand we have had a leaky defence against the top 7, conceding 7 more goals than Notts County have against the top 7. Say what you will of that, but what is more important, that Wrexham were able to pick up the points in the games where we did concede quite a lot of goals. For example, when we beat Barnet 7-5 at home, you rarely see a team conceding 5 and then winning the game still, which was absolutely crazy. Like I said, it doesn't mean an awful lot, but it was a great insight to see how the top 2 teams fold against the other on-form teams in the league. So next we are going to be discussing the big fixtures remaining for both teams, starting with Wrexham FC. We've still got to play Woking at home, Chesterfield at home, Dagenham and Redbridge away, Bromley away, Notts County home and Barnet away. So some massive games coming up until the end of the season. All games that for me I think are winnable, but there's a couple of toughies in there. Obviously we've got the big boys, Notts County, to come to our place, Chesterfield to come to our place as well, and then you've got the smaller teams that have snuck their way higher up into the league, the likes of Woking, who've been on incredible form. We've got Barnet, who just seems to be a steel team, who just seems to be sort of going under the radar a bit, but are doing very well, and a team that I massively rate. And I can't wait to visit the Hive when we do come down in April. Looking at our league title rivals, Notts County, they've still got to play Solihull Moors away, Chesterfield away, Barnet home and away, Dagenham and Redbridge at home, Bromley away, and of course Wrexham away. So it's clear to see why people are saying the title race is nowhere near over. Both teams have got some huge teams left to play and some huge points are up for grabs, and obviously one defeat in those run of games could really open up this title race. And of course there's only 19 games left of the season. Both teams vital games that they need to pick up maximum points in if they do want to go on and win the league title, including as well when both teams will come up against each other on the April 10th. Games before the end of the season, that could be the title decider right there. And then obviously you've got the teams that are lower down in the National League. Arguably, you could say teams lower down in the league will give you a better fight and will give you a more interesting game than the teams at the top. That's what we found at Wrexham anyway so far this season. Obviously, we've had some incredible games, teams lower down in the league, giving us a real good go other than teams that are positioned at the top of the table. And as we've learned the past couple of seasons, there is no easy game in the National League. You just never know in the Vanarama National League. Anything can happen. But there is a plus side for Wrexham FC. Out of our remaining 19 games, 11 of them are at the Fortress, which goes by the name of the Racecourse Ground. This is big for us because, as you know, the racecourse has been a fortress ever since fans have returned into the stadiums. Our league form has been incredible since, like I said, fans returned to the stadiums. We have only seen one defeat since the start of the 21-22 season. That is an incredible stat. Only one home defeat we have watched in front of our eyes at the Racecourse Ground, which obviously was to Yeovil Town at the start of December 2021. And since then, we have just gone on to make it a real tough place for opposition teams to come to and pick up points. Obviously, we've seen Grimsby, the playoffs. That was obviously not in the league, so that doesn't count, but that was an incredible game. And overall to say, I would go as far as saying we have one of the best home records over the past 2 seasons in the whole of the English Pyramid. And obviously, not to count out this season as well, we have scored a whopping 44 league home goals at the Racecourse Ground this year. We've scored more home goals than 18 teams in this league have scored in general, home and away. That says a lot. That just shows how ruthless we are in front of goal and how much quality we do have in that final third. And then obviously looking at the defence, I don't have the exact statistics, but I'm sure we haven't conceded more than 20 goals at home this year. We're lucky that we've got such a good attack, and then if we go back to our back five, every single position is incredibly strong and does their job very well. Both teams' squads are incredibly good. We've obviously got some great players in the two teams, the likes of Ruben Rodriguez, Macaulay Langstaff, Kedwin Scott, John Bostock over at our title contenders, Notts County. And then over at Wrexham, we've obviously got Paul Mullin, Ollie Palmer, Aaron Hayden, Tom O'Connor, Luke Young, you name it. There is absolutely incredible quality between these two teams, and it's no real surprise to see them both going toe-to-toe at the top of the table. Speaking solely as a Wrexham fan now, if we want to increase our chances of getting the title race over and done with a few games before, I believe we should try and bring in a pacey, prolific, a striker who can score goals before the end obviously of the transfer window, but that doesn't really apply to us. But it would be nice to get one as soon as possible, because it doesn't mean we have to heavily rely on the likes of Ollie Palmer and Paul Mullin, who obviously is clear to see they won't be able to last the busy schedule that we've got coming up in February. And like I said, it'd be a massive help if we could add that extra striker. Whether Parky's got a player on his mind that he wants to bring in, we don't know. But like I said, with 8 games coming up in February, an incredibly busy schedule, signing another striker would not go amiss. And obviously we've seen this afternoon Notts have strengthened their squad even more, bringing in Jody Jones on loan from Oxford United until the end of the year. So they obviously feel that they need to improve their squad even more, and I think that's a quality signing. But whether Phil Parkinson's got a trick up his sleeve, we don't know. But I would be surprised if we don't go and sign another player between now and possibly the start of February. For my conclusion, I believe it is going to go down to the absolute wire with this title race. Both clubs look unstoppable. Notts County have brought in a new, attractive playing style under Luke Williams, who has proved a lot of people wrong, including myself. I thought he wasn't going to do amazing with Notts County, but we can clearly see that he's been given time and he's been given the resources available for him to play the way of football he wants to play, and he's implemented it very, very well. Both clubs have incredibly high quality squads, and they've obviously got balanced squads across the whole of the pitch with very good squad depth. And then obviously there's 2 of the best strikers in the National League, Macaulay Langstaff and Paul Mullin, who have something like 42 goals combined. So there's some real good players on show for these 2 teams. And it's obviously clear to see both teams are on the up again, and to think that one of these clubs has a 50% chance of losing out on going up this season is incredible and just doesn't sit right with me. And don't forget, obviously, Chesterfield, who are sneaking in, going up the league in third place, who have something like 3 games or 4 games in hand over us. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do in there. And if they win all those 4, it's going to see it wide open at the top. As you know, I hate to jinx things on this channel. That's why I never give score predictions. But on this one, I think I'm going to have to go with my gut. I can see and I believe that we have enough power and we have enough squad depth and we have the squad to go up this season. Whether it be on the final day or games before, I believe and I have total trust in this squad, and I do think we've got a great bunch of players in this squad that can take us up to the Football League. And no matter what, it's going to be a title race that will go down in the history books as one of the most interesting and one of the most high quality title races the league has ever seen. So like I said, with 19 games left of the Vanarama National League season, will it be Wrexham's last National League campaign that we will see possibly in a long while, and will not regain their Football League status? And can Chesterfield pull off a surprise shock and win the games in hand and slowly climb and possibly overtake Wrexham and Notts County to win the league title? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments section down below. Like I said, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, we're on the road to 13k, subscribe for all the best Wrexham FC content on YouTube, and I'll see you possibly for a preview of our big FA Cup game coming up against Sheffield United. If I don't, you will see us, fingers crossed, pull off one of the biggest upsets the FA Cup has seen. Until then, have a good one guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Up the town, take care.